Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Juana. I am the crafty Puerto Rican. Today, I'm going to be working on an embroidery project. I'm going to be using a single needle embroidery machine. There's a lot of people that don't have a multi-needle embroidery machine. This project would have been easier with my multi-needle, but I decided to use a single needle so that you can see that it's very easy to embroider a hoodie, in this case, on a single needle embroidery machine. I'm going to be using my Poolin Eoc06, and I'm going to be using a hoop size 8. It says size large, so this size hooping is going to make it easier for me to hoop it instead of using the big one, which is at 8 by 11, all right? So guys, I'm going to move you to the craft table, and we're going to start it with hooping this hoodie, all right? So guys, let's get started. I'm using Embroider Essentials, and this is the design that I'm going to embroider. The design came from Stitchtopia, and the font is Silly Monkey Sketch. It's a sketch font. We are going to be moving now to the craft table, and we're going to start the process of embroidering this hoodie. See you in a little bit. We are here on the working table, and this is the hoodie I'm going to embroider on. This is a child's hoodie. It's a size large, children. And I have the sequence of colors printed out from Embrilliance. These are the thread colors that I'm going to be using. 7 thread color changes. Yeah, if you notice here, there's 7 color changes. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to be using my embroidery machine, Poolin Eoc06, and I'm going to be using hoop size 8. This is an 8 inches by 8 inches hoop, and that's the one I'm going to use. You can do floating. You can float this item. Usually when it comes to hoodie, I like to go the old-fashioned way of hooping because it's a thick material, and I feel like when you're dealing with a smaller size item like this one, when you are floating, I need to pin it all over because sometimes, you know, it gets detached from the glue that you use, the temporary adhesive spray, and I rather do the old-fashioned hooping. It might take a little bit longer to hoop, but to me, I feel like the garment is going to be more secure. That is my experience. This is water soluble stabilizer. I always use this on the top of the design to make it look more crisp at the end, all right? So I have already placed my cutaway stabilizer by using 505 temporary adhesive spray. So it's there pretty good. You can use other brands. I also used another brand from Walmart. This was the first one that I bought when I was starting embroidering, and it's pretty good, and it's cheaper than this one. I bought this one a long time ago. It brings a lot, and I'm still have some left in here. And the reason why I bought this was because back then, when I went to Walmart, they stopped bringing this brand right here, and I could not get it at any Walmart store. I don't know. The other day, I saw that they brought it back, and I went ahead and I bought it because this is pretty good, and it doesn't clog your needle or anything like that of gunk. You're not going to get any issues with your needles, and it's much, much, much cheaper than this one. I still have some in here, so I'm going to go ahead and use it, okay? There's a little part in here that it didn't attach too much. I didn't put enough. I like doing this because I'm going to turn this inside out, and I don't want it to come off. This is pretty good here. This is pretty good here, okay? I'm going to turn this garment inside out, and we're going to start with the hooping. So this item is going to be facing this way to the embroidery machine, the Poolin, because the Poolin has the part of the embroidery hookup on this side of the machine where the neck of the machine is. So I don't want all this heaviness on that area where the moving part is on the machine. I want it away. So I'm going to be hooping this hoodie facing that way. So I had to remember when I go to embroidery, I had to invert the image facing that way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this part of the hooping section facing this way because that's the way I'm going to place the item. I'm going to move this thread out of the way. Okay, so make sure that you open this as much as you can for you to have more space. Be careful not to detach it. I mean, if you detach it, you can screw it in, but I try to have as much room as I want because sometimes these things, you know, get kind of difficult to open up once you have it inside. And this is going to be facing up, so I'm going to have to do some maneuvering around to be able to tie it up. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to place the hoop stabilizer on top, okay, of the hoop. So now I'm going to be using my hands to feel where the hoop is at, making sure that I have enough space bottom and top. Okay. I know that my design is already placed in here. I printed it out from Embroider that would show me visually where I want the hoop at. And it's centered already, okay, to the hoop. So the hoop has no markings at the top that I can tell is the center. So that's why I need to use the feel so that I can feel with my hands. Side by side, I know this is off right here. I have my fingers spread out and I know I have enough room on the top and enough room at the bottom. I'm gonna make sure that the stabilizer is clear and that the back of the shirt is completely straight because right now I have plenty of fabric that I felt is bulky in there. Okay. It looks straight to me. Sometimes I use the lines on my mat back here to make sure that this item is flush with one of the lines in here. You see, and that way I know that the hoop is not crooked because I can see these matches here. So I know that the bottom of the hoop is flushed to that line and that the hoop is straight. That is not crooked. Now what is left for me to do, and this is optional, I get a ruler and I measure from here to here and from here to here, more or less to let me know that the hoop is centered. So I'm gonna get the ruler. So from this side of the hoop, it is 3.5 inches, and this on this side, it is 4.25 inches. So I know that the hoop needs to come up a little bit towards the right, to my right. So now that I have that on there, hoop is in here, hoop is in here. I have 4 fingers down, almost 4 fingers down. This is straight. Then I'm gonna hoop the item, okay? So this is a part that you have to have patience because sometimes you have to do it more than one time, okay? It's the nature of this old-fashioned way of hooping things, okay? I'm gonna go now and go to the embroidery machine and we're gonna start the process of embroidering. I need to set up the machine, place in the file, and I'll see you over there, guys. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the machine. I'm gonna say, okay, this thing doesn't work. Okay, so you work with this one. I got this at the dollar store, okay, $1.25 store, all right? So it's doing its thing, it's moving around, okay? So now that it did that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place in my USB right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go to pattern. And I'm gonna go to my USB. And I'm gonna look for the design. Right here. So I'm gonna go to configuration. Oh, I'm gonna look for the frame. Frame, A by A, save. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead. It has my colors in there, even though I have these colors in here. They don't have it. I mean, they just put random colors. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the colors. Just close, because you're not gonna find the same color. I'm gonna go save. Then I'm gonna go color, and the next one would be like a beige color. You're gonna look here for a beige color. I'm just showing, just in case it's the first time I'm looking at a Poolin. So I'm gonna pick white. Pick white. Third one will be like a dark pink, like this one right here, similar to it. So I'm gonna do save. The fourth one is gonna be like a light green. So I'm gonna go for, it's like a very, very light. I'm gonna go for this one, even though it doesn't even look like it. The fifth one is gonna go to bright yellow. It's a very bright yellow. So I'm gonna go this one, even though, no, actually it's not, it's a mustard. Let me pick this one, okay. And then the next one will be black. And the last one is gonna be red. And I'm gonna save that. These colors are more or less, but I can recognize it. I know this is not gonna be white, it's gonna be beige. So now that I have that, I'm gonna go to, let me see what else. This looks pretty good centered. I need to rotate the item. So the item is gonna face the other way. So I'm gonna go to rotate, size, mirror, rotate. This is heading this way, and I don't want it this way, I want it the other way. It should be that way. So I'm gonna save that. And then, let me see what else. And I know it's gonna fit because I know it's within the frame. So I'm gonna go to the table, and I need to do one step that I forgot to show you, how to clear the garment from the back of the hoop so that I can put it here. I'm gonna move you around. I'm gonna show you how to do that part, okay? So I need to clear this from the back. So what I do is I'm gonna move this garment up from the back. You want this thing away from the back of the hoop. So you're gonna move it up as best as you can. Like I said, this is a smaller garment. That's why I decided to use the 8x8 hoop, okay? And then you're gonna clear it. I have the thing in here. First, I'm going to try to clear this part by rolling this up like this. You can use painter's tape. You can use any kind of tape to keep it away. I usually use painter's tape just to keep it away from the embroidery field, okay? This is the most easy part. The difficult part on this small garment is that, you know, it's small, okay? So you have to do this, all right? And then you have to work with that part. What I do sometimes is that I use some thread huggers to do this part. Some people ask me, where can I get those things? Because I think it's something special for hooping. And no, they are thread huggers. You get this by the bag from Amazon. They're called thread huggers. Okay? I'm not going to attempt it here because they're not going to fit in there. That's too bulky, so it's not going to work. But I can attempt it here. Okay? Let me see if I can get one in here. So I will do this when it's gonna be embroidering this way. I will place tape in here. I'm not gonna do it now because I need to use this to hook the garment. Once it's hooked, then I'm gonna place a piece of tape in there to keep this away from the area. We're gonna move to the embroidery machine, okay? We're gonna start by taking the hook on the machine, and I'm gonna need to lift this as high as I can because I have this bulk in here. I thought it was gonna be more difficult, but it was not that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this in here, pull this, and this is right here. Now that I have this in here, I want to place this like closer to here, and I'm gonna place tape, but I don't want it to touch this part because this part is gonna be moving, so I don't want nothing to do with the moving parts, okay? So while I'm embroidering, I'm gonna be like pushing this like this, making sure that everything is clear because, you know, of the size of the shirt, which is a little bit smaller, the space for embroidering is reduced a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So we need to try to make it work, okay? So let me go get a piece of tape and see how can I work the bottom part. Top part is not that bad. I have plenty of space in here. So okay. I don't think this is gonna do a lot, but it helps a little bit, okay? At the end, I'm gonna have to be pushing the fabric this way to clear. So let's work with the position of the design. My center is right here. I'm following the Embrilliance Essentials pinout, so I'm not that far, so I'm gonna take it to the right a little bit. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's almost there. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trace, and this is gonna be moving, so I might have to be pushing this around. Okay, so let's trace, guys. So I had to take this out. This right here, I took it out because the machine bumped it up. So I'm gonna have to deal with placing more tape in here. So I'm just putting an extra piece of tape in here to see if that will help. Keeping this way, and then I will deal with this later on. So I'm gonna remove this. I don't need this anymore because I know it's working. My colors are in, and the next things to do is to press start. You know what I didn't do? I did not check the bobbin. I should have enough bobbin thread. Anyway, I'm gonna start embroidering, and I'm just gonna show you part of the embroidery. This is a very big design because it's all straight embroidery. It has 63,000 stitches. 63, to be more exact, 63,222 stitches. That's a lot of stitching, okay? One thing that I wanted to do was to slow down the speed of the machine. I'm gonna take a little bit slower just to have the better quality. It's at 600 right now, so I'm gonna move it to 550, you know, just to see, you know, I don't know. Sometimes because this is so much embroidery, I like to take it slower. I'm gonna place the topper right here. Okay. And I'm gonna use some tape to, in the beginning, to keep it from moving. Sometimes when the machine moves around, the topper tends to move also. This is optional, guys. I've done it without it, and it's okay. It's just a matter of preference, okay? So guys, let's get started. Okay. I need to put the presser foot down first, people. All right, hello. Okay, so let's get started. You know what I keep forgetting on this machine? I had to push the ready button first. I don't know if you see this button. Yeah, right here on the bottom. And because my other machines, you don't need to do the ready button for anything. This one, you need to do it before you press start. So let's do that. Ready. Now I'm ready. Let's get started. Let me cut that beginning stitch in there because I don't want any thread to be embroidered on top of it. It's just this long thread right here. That's all. Let's see how it goes. Like for example, here. Right here, this is a jump stitch right here that I got in on top of it. It's already too late for me to remove, but it's gonna be covered by the embroidery, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So like I said, I'm gonna run this and then I'm gonna cut sections of it because otherwise we're gonna be here for a long time, all right? Let me go get another pair of scissors. These are better at jump stitches right here. So. They are like curves, so they are better at cutting jump stitches. Let me see if you can get a closer look. I'm gonna move the camera around, okay? I think this is a closer look for you guys. Like I mentioned before, this has 7 thread color changes. And so it's gonna be a little bit of a long process. Stitching looks pretty good right now. I love it. The stitches looks pretty good. Okay. So for this design, when I was working at Embrilliance, what I did was that I color sorted. And for those who follow me, you know what color sorting is. That way it embroider all the same colors at once. And that way you save having to change the thread spool back and forth. So it's embroidering everything that is blue is doing it first. And so forth with the colors. So that way I don't have to be going back and forth, switching so many thread spools. Otherwise, it would have been, I think, 10 color changes that I needed to do, okay? So guys, what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to stop the video here and I'm gonna bring you back when I'm ready to go to the next color change, all right? And that way you don't have to like watch this for a long time because otherwise it's gonna be a long process, all right? Okay guys, so I'm gonna change the thread now to the beige color right here. This one is a Madeira thread. I have a combination of threads here. I'm using Madeira, I'm using broad thread, and I'm using rich wood. So I'm using all kind of threads. That way I was able to get all the shades that I wanted. So I'm using 3 different brands here. Actually, I think Sim thread, rich wood, Madeira, and broad thread. That's 4. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna change the thread and I'll bring you right back, guys. I'm done with the change of thread, so we're gonna start with the beige color. This is gonna cover the body of the ducks. So this one is gonna be a big time embroidering because there are 3 of them. So let's get started. started down here, so it's not that bad. So I have plenty of space in here too. So we're gonna be good. I'm gonna move the camera position so you can get a better view, okay? So hopefully you have now a better view right here. So this is gonna continue, and I'm gonna let it go a little bit so that you can see. You can barely see because it's a beige color. It's a very, very light color. Let me see if I can show you. Let me get you closer. It's a very light color, and it's hard for you guys to see. So yeah, but it's looking very, very, very nice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead again. I'm gonna stop here, and I'll bring you back when all this is completed so that you can have a better view on how this color look after it's done. All right. So the dogs are completed. It took a little while, so it looks pretty good. Now we're going to go to the next thread color, and I switched it already. It's gonna be like a fuchsia, dark pink. So yeah. Let's get started, guys. I'm just making sure that it's not gonna bump on this fold right here. I'm done with the fuchsia color, so now I'm gonna continue with the next color, which is green. And I'm gonna continue straight all the way to the end. So this is the last section, the last part. And on this one, I pushed this as far as I could. I took some of the bulk from here and pushed it down to give me more space because these tend to want to go inside. So I went ahead and I placed it here as much as I could without bothering the movement of the arm up here. Okay, and I'm gonna be holding this if necessary because this tends to want to go the other way. Okay, so this is gonna be the color red. And guys, let's get started. Well, guys, this is done. I'm gonna move it out of the machine. Okay, I'm gonna remove the backing and the topper and all this. See you in a little bit, guys.
So we are done with the sweatshirt. You notice that I placed cloud cover on the back of the sweatshirt because the kid that's gonna get this sweatshirt has a very sensitive skin. So I placed some cloud cover. For the other two that I did recently, and for the most part, if the kids are around 11 or up and have no skin issues, I don't include any cloud covers because for the most part, they put a t-shirt under, and once you wash this, it becomes very soft. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna fold this in. I need to pack this. I'm gonna see you in a little bit once I pick up all my mess. You don't wanna see my mess of thread. And you know that I'm not messy. I cannot work around mess. I'm gonna leave this in here. I'm gonna clean up and I'll see you in a little bit, all right? So I am done with this sweatshirt and I am happy that I'm done, guys, because this felt like back in the day when I used to do a lot of onesies on a single needle, just for the fact that the field was kind of small for this sweatshirt, and the sweatshirt took a lot of space around it, and it had to be babysitted all the time. I mean, and it was a long file. It took a long time as well, but it's a very well digitized file. I found no issues with it. It's very hefty, very dense, and I like it a lot. But it took some time, all right? So for things like this, definitely the next time that somebody required to a sweatshirt, I'm gonna do it on multi-needle embroidery machine. The other two prior to this one, I did on the multi-needle embroidery machine. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and it was very easy. So yeah, but I wanted to do it on this machine so that I can show you that you can do your own sweatshirts on the single needle embroidery machine. The adult ones are easy because you're gonna have more space. For the children, you have to take it slow and just babysit it all the time like that. Okay, guys? This is everything for now. Let me see what else. I plan to leave to Puerto Rico in a couple of days, and I'm gonna be releasing content from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of projects are gonna be over there, but you're gonna see once I get there, okay? Guys, this is everything for now. If you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, you know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way, you're gonna get notification of all my future videos. And guys, don't forget to click the thumb up. That really helps for YouTube to show my videos all over the place, and that helps the channel at the end, okay? So guys, thank you very much for spending this time with me. Until next time, bye.